All right. Question 2. All right, David and Sean, bring a new story and talk about it.
Open-ended. All right, you want me to kick this one off?
Kick it off.
So I don't know if you have been keeping up with this at all, but do you know about that monolith or whatever, that statue that popped up in Utah?
No.
No. All right. So long story short,
A statue?
there was so it's this steel monolith, they're calling it, that like popped up in the middle of the desert in Utah, and like middle of a remote desert. It's not like near park rangers, but they found it because they were doing a wildlife survey in a helicopter.
How big is the statue?
Like 10 feet or something.
10 feet?
Yeah, it's a big steel statue.
That's big as fuck.
Yeah, but not like that big. Like they have to have a kind of a keen eye to see it from a helicopter. But anyway, it's middle of the desert for no reason, and there's this big steel statue. Nobody knows how it got there, and it was there for like a couple of days, maybe a week or something, and then overnight it just disappeared one day. So people are obviously pointing to aliens. I do have an update on this, but wanted to get your thoughts so far. Like, what do you think about that?
Well, I don't think it's the tiny 1 millimeter amoebas from
unless there's a billion of them working together.
Do you know
like ant?
I said, do you know how like deep it was in the ground?
I do now.
Shove it in there. Okay.
I do now. Not that deep, apparently. Apparently not that deep. This was
so it's just like on the surface. It was just like on the surface.
Yeah, I mean, but
which means it could have been moved more easily than if it was like rooted in the ground.
100 feet in, yeah. But the thought was like, this is clearly an alien. Like it's a flag planted by an alien, and then it just disappeared. That was because it's near Area 51 relatively, so like that's where aliens would probably pop up in the middle of nowhere. What's the point of doing it? Like the odds of somebody finding it is probably
what's
pretty
the point of doing it? I said on this podcast famously before, we're the aliens. Like, what if we went to another planet and all we did was just put a statue in the middle of nowhere and left? Like, what? What? Like, what? Okay.
So that the whole story? Really quick to rain on the parade update. Some guys were like upset that it was drawing visitors to this area because it's a remote desert, and they're like conservationists, and they just want to conserve the environment.
Don't step on the sand.
Yeah, that's
pretty much.
What can you conserve?
But they were like, I mean, apparently there were like hundreds of visitors every day and like lines of cars. So they came in overnight and they like pushed it back and forth till it tipped over, and they like broke it down, and it wasn't that deep, and it was clearly like an art installation or a prank of something like that. But it's gone now, so it didn't disappear. Some hippies like pulled it down, and that kind of rained on my parade. I was convinced it was aliens. Clearly it's not. Clearly it was like a stupid art project.
But I read somewhere that like it showed up in Romania. I don't know how true that is, but
yeah, something similar did.
So some other people,
right.
Yeah,
right. Also, they showed a close up of it. Like none of the news stories that I saw when it first popped up had this level of detail. There's like rivets in it, and it's like kind of shoddy the way it's made. It's like clearly man made. So,
all right,
it was a cool story for a bit. Kind of ended up being
All right, I got a better story. So this, I hope you don't know about this. This happened in the country of Hungary about 5 days ago. Do you know this? All right, so there's this politician named Josef Szajer. I don't know how to say his name. But all right, so he's a politician in Hungary, and he's an anti-gay politician. He personally drafted an amendment to the Hungarian constitution in 2011 to protect the institution of marriage between a man and a woman. He's very much against like gay rights and marriage between a man and a man or a woman and a woman. That's like his thing as a politician. So recently on Sunday, he was caught jumping out of a window, asshole naked, jumping out of a window, and he got caught.
Asshole naked.
Yeah, asshole naked, like he was butt naked. And
everything was naked but his butthole. Or everything was clothed but his butthole, I should say.
And the reason that actually he got caught for this, because he was at an event with like a lot of people, which was a COVID thing. So guess where he was jumping out the window from?
I did read the story, so I won't say it.
He was leaving from a 25-man orgy. A 25-man orgy. First of all, what are the logistics of the 25-man orgy?
That's true.
Is it like 2 and 2?
You ever play Tetris? Like Jenga.
But I thought that was so funny. A 25 man orgy, and he got caught butt naked jumping out of the window. But he did apologize. So this is his apology. I deeply regret violating the COVID restrictions. It was irresponsible on my part. I am ready to pay the fine that occurs. With my resignation on Sunday, I drew the political and personal consequences. I apologize to my family and my colleagues and voters for violating the COVID restrictions.
He's got his priorities straight. That's a great spin zone. That is a great spin zone. Were they not wearing masks, I guess? I will say,
how funny is that? And just imagine the imagery of, you know how it looks like when someone jumps out a window, they kind of like put their arms out first and then kind of like roll out and like, and then they kind of fall in, laying on their hands and kind of like, so like the cops probably just see him like very clearly do that. And he's butt naked. Yeah, he's butt naked.
Were you with the Were you with the other 24 naked dudes in here?
And then I'm imagining a cop with a flashlight opens the front door, and he like shines the light in, and then there's just like 24 naked guys in there, and they're like turn their heads like this.
Yeah, and the politician goes,
"Oh my God, you're all arrested."
Yeah, exactly. I will say it's like I think everyone who has such a hard stance against like gay marriage,
it's kind of like the marijuana in Schedule 1,
right? But these people are like, oh, I feel like they're all gay.
Yeah,
like it always turns out.
You think Mike Pence is gay?
But I mean, maybe I would not be surprised at all.
I do not think. I don't. I would be surprised.
I mean, before this story, I think that nobody would think this guy's gay, and not only is it like, you know, there's levels. I think 20 with another 25 guys, like you're committed there. You know, it's not. I don't think it's an experiment.
25 guys, dude. Like imagine how horny guys are in general, and just like, oh my God,
I don't want to imagine.
I'm already imagining it. I like you put it to Tetris.
But there would be no problem with this, except for the fact that like apparently his one, like the hill that he chose to die on was gay marriage.
Yeah,
it's like,
it also wouldn't have been broken up if it weren't for COVID. Because there was COVID.
Is that why they? Oh, that's why they got raided?
That's why it was busted.
How did somebody get in there with a phone? Nobody has pockets.
Well, I don't know. Like it must maybe someone from outside. Someone reported I saw 25 high-powered men go in there. Like that was the reason why I was being like when he got caught by jumping out the window. Like you're allowed to jump out a window naked, I think. But the reason why they were nearby was because there was a call out for a COVID violation or something like that.
What's this guy doing though? He's like the most powerful guy around. Like, have it at your place.
I don't know if he's the most powerful.
You know, like why do you have to go to a hotel?
Just oh man, I thought it was so funny. Just 25 guy orgy. Like,
it's a lot of people. Do you remember?
That's
like
so
in
many
elementary
people,
school.
dude.
My classes had like 25 to 30 kids. It's a lot of kids. It's like you cannot get that many people in line to do anything. No, you can't get 25 people to agree on anything. Try to order pizza for 25 people. You know how many topping choices there's going to be? But all these guys had like the same. I guess they had the same.
And imagine in a 25 guy orgy. Imagine a 25 guy orgy. Like I don't know, people finish at different times and stuff like that. So it's like, is it like kind of like who lasts the longest? Like, or
I think it's like they got. There's like
someone
a bench
comes back
situation.
in. It's like tag.
Yeah,
so like the first guy out comes back in and like
you hear the horn.
An hour.
You hear the horn. Burn, you know, the guy's on a knee and he gets up. Rips off the pants.
Or like dodgeball, like once one guy goes, like it's like you catch it and you bring your teammate back in, like back in.
It could. I mean, there's just a billion questions logistically, like you said. It had to have been a big room. Unless we don't know, we could just sound like such prudes right now. Like we just don't know how these things work.
I've never been in an orgy with that many people.
Maybe there's like 14 couples in one threesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or 12 couples in a threesome.
That was actually my first thought, but it wasn't even number. So that
would be a weak excuse for an orgy, I think.
What?
I think there's got to be at least 7-8 guys going at it at once.
Yeah. Right. Why would you be all in the same room if you weren't gonna like cross paths a little?
I wonder if the other 24 guys are like pissed.
They probably all got like a ticket for COVID violations, but they're like, we're
right.
I guess if in that country, I don't know, like before gay marriage was allowed, and I think it absolutely should be, was gay sex illegal?
No, I mean I think like, back in the day, I don't know about like 2000. It's weird because gay marriage was illegal till like 2010.
Yeah. Really, it really was recent. There's footage of Obama saying like I don't agree with it. Hillary Clinton.
It's crazy. Like, what an unbelievably absurd stance to have. Like, there's no part of me will ever understand.
What is the reasoning for people who are against it?
I think the Bible. I think that's the only reason that there ever could be. There's no other logical explanation for that at all.
I know some people think they're using the ability to get married to get like marriage like benefits or stuff
people,
like that.
Like, why can't a boy and a girl do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They think that they're faking it or something like that. I don't know.
It's just crazy.
The only argument that I could ever think of would be, and this doesn't fit in the modern world, would be like, say you're in a society that you want to repopulate with like 12 people, 6 guys, 6 girls, and 3 of the guys team up. You're like, dude, we need to repopulate. Like, if you want to have, like, they can't repopulate biologically and make another human being.
Imagine being in that situation and they're like, we got to repopulate the world, but like, I'm married, I can't, you know what I mean? I can't dude, I'm married, I can't repopulate.
I know what else is
world,
crazy?
so.
If you're a gay couple and you want to have a kid and you want to use only one of you can get your DNA passed on. I guess the solution would be have 2 kids, one each.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's tricky because then, like, there's no blood relation between the kids. Whatever they want to do,
half
totally
brothers.
Fine.
Oh,
not
right,
that
they wouldn't. Right,
but not that even matters.
Brothers.
Not that even matters. You know what I mean? Because like it's like having adopting a kid. Like they're not your kid. You know what I mean?
Right.
But do you think if that was the case, like if you were, say you were gay and you were going to do that, would you like randomize it somehow? Like put both your guys' sperm into like a vial and shake it up or something?
That's a good idea. But I would be the whole time ever after the kid was born, I would just be thinking, is that mine or is that his? Is it mine or is it his? And then all of a sudden he like, I don't know, like picks up a basketball and you like basketball. You're like, it's mine. Yeah. Like I would need to know. I would be so maybe it's. I would want to.
I could see that too. So maybe they decide together. Maybe it's like one person feels more strongly about it. I don't know. I will say it seems to me that like decisions like that are like the gay guys that I know are like better suited to make those decisions. They're like more level-headed. They're rational because they probably had to deal with such a difficult like quandary, dilemma kind of in their.
I'm sure
head
in the community they discuss these things, and
it's crazy though.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
What a story.
It's also, yeah. Whew! All right. I think my story is better than your story.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. My story was, it started out as like a 6.
It started out as like, oh, this is it.
I could have omitted the last piece, but like, I would have felt like I had no integrity if I did that. So definitely not aliens, but it was fun to believe for a little while. I do believe in aliens.
Dude, I actually don't. And I don't know.
Crazy.
Everyone always says the common answer to the most basic answer to the question is, of course, I'd be stupid if I didn't believe that there's like other life out there. I'm going against the grain on that. Like, what fucking evidence is there that there's aliens? Like, why can't we be the first ones?
The pyramids.
Like, we're going to Mars. I mean,
we know nothing about space, though, dude. We know nothing about space. We're going to Mars. Mars is like so close when you're looking at the grand.
But like, say we populate Mars, and then another couple hundred years, we go a little further out, and then we're the aliens for some other. I don't know.
For sure.
I think we're the most advanced civilization in the galaxy.
We're so lucky.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know, but that is in 5,000 years, when you look back on this podcast and we find out that this is true, pull up this clip.
Here's a interesting, in one of Little Dicky's songs, he mentions like, he's talking about aliens and he's like, why can't God fuck with aliens? Like why if that's the argument against aliens, like why can't, I think he says like, why can't Earth just be like a side project? Or like, why can't there be other, you know what I mean?
I mean, right. It's basically the same thing as I'd be naive to think there's not other life out there. Like, yeah, I get that argument. It's true. I mean, right. We don't know. We just don't know. I mean, I don't know that there's a murder in my house when I get home. I'm assuming since there hasn't been a murder in my house any other day, that probably today there's not going to be a murder in my house.
Did you see that video of Ted Cruz and Jimmy Kimmel playing basketball?
That was a couple years ago. Yeah, I saw that.
Seeing Ted Cruz like
they both were terrible at basketball
physically, but seeing Ted Cruz do it is like, all right, like aliens exist. This guy is not. This guy's not like an Earthling. Weird guy.
All right. What's the next topic, Brandon?
All right.
Have you ever heard a better podcast in your entire life? Take that, Joe Rogan. Best podcast you've ever heard. Get more podcasts right here and subscribe to the show too while you're at it. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. Honestly, I love you.